Hi, I'm Linda, and today's video is a restorative yoga practice. So one of the distinctions I like to make with restorative yoga is that in restorative yoga, the pose holds you. In typical yoga, you hold the pose. So in this practice, I'm going to be inviting you to reflect inward and to notice whether you feel held or are you holding. And if you feel like you're holding, that's an invitation to scan your body and notice any areas of tension that may be in the body that you could release. And you may not even have realized that you were holding the muscles and they didn't need to be held in that way. So in restorative yoga, we need some props. So these are just props. These are the things that I've got in the house. So these are some cushions from my couch. These are going to be your bolsters. They make very fine bolsters. If you don't have couch cushions, a couple of bed pillows would be fine. And if the bed pillows are soft, you might want to use more than two. But for this practice, we just need two of them. And then I also have a couple of throw cushions. We'll need two cushions for today's practice. And so two bolsters and two cushions. And a blanket to cover your body to stay warm. And I've got my socks on because I know when my feet are cold, it's hard for me to relax. And restorative yoga is a deeply relaxing kind of practice where the body unwinds, the mind releases, and the spirit sinks into a place of deep peace. So keeping warm can help with that process. So here's a blanket, just any kind of blanket to keep your body warm, covering your body. And then an eye pillow. So an eye pillow blocks the light out, which is also relaxing. And just the weight of the pillow on the optical nerve creates a calming effect on the nervous system. But if you don't have an eye pillow, you can use just a face cloth. So I've just taken a face cloth here and folded it over, and you can use this as your eye pillow. So let's begin. So our first pose, and we'll hold the poses for 3 minutes or so. The first pose is a nice chest opening pose that will include a little bit of a back bend, but not a big back bend. So taking one of your bolsters and placing it longwise on the mat, and the pillow goes on top of it. That's where your head's going to rest. And then this other bolster will go underneath your knees to take the tension off of the low back. So, bringing that bolster up there. So you want to get right up next to this bolster here so there's no space between your sacrum and the bolster. And then, of course, once you get into the pose, you're always welcome to adjust it. So using your hands to support you to roll your way down onto your back, and then adjusting the cushions so that your neck and head feel supported. And to the best of your ability, you want your chin to be a little bit lower than your forehead, or at least level with your forehead. When the chin is higher than the forehead, it's actually stimulating on the nervous system. So right now, we want to access that calming effect on the nervous system. So letting the chin at least be level with the forehead or lower than the forehead creates that calming effect. Oh, and this is Shanti. Sometimes Shanti joins us for yoga class. So then getting your eye pillow and your blanket and covering your body with your blanket, or maybe even just covering the midsection of your body with the blanket, which feels really secure. And then taking the eye pillow, placing the eye pillow over your eyes, and prepare to release. So letting the arms rest alongside your body, rotating the shoulders such that the palms face upward, and taking a big breath in, and releasing that with a sigh. Just feel free to move and adjust the body in any way that would allow you to feel a little more at ease. Allowing your body to be fully supported by the surface beneath you. Noticing all those points of contact your body's making with the surface beneath you. And allowing the body to soften downward into those points of contact. Softening the back of your head, your shoulders, your hips and heels, all softening downward into the support of the surface beneath you. And opening your senses widely to the environment and the sounds around you. Sensing the room as a safe space, a protected space. Welcoming the feeling of the air touching your skin, and the feeling of letting go and being at ease in your entire body and mind. And if you notice you've become distracted by a thought, simply acknowledge that without judgment. And bring your attention back to your body, back to your breath. If it's useful, you might use the sensations in your body as a way of anchoring your attention here in this space, in this moment. And then taking that inquiry inward. Do I feel held or am I holding? And if you feel held, allowing that sensation to dissolve the entire body. And if you're holding, just scanning your body, noticing where the muscles might be engaged, and they really don't need to be. And allowing the muscles to soften. And you're always welcome to pause the video and stay in each pose for as long as you like. Or if you're ready to move on, taking 3 more nice, long, slow, deep cycles of breath here. And then as you feel ready, removing the blanket, setting the blanket aside. And bringing your knees into your chest, letting the feet rest on that bolster that was beneath your knees. And if you like, squeezing the knees a little, opening up in the back of the body. Rocking a little from one side to the other. And gradually at your own pace, rocking over onto one side or the other. And then using your arms to push you to a comfortable seated position. So the transition between poses is just as important as the time in the pose. You want to take the transition slowly, not wanting to jar the body in any way. So our next pose is a twist. So for the twist, we'll line up the bolsters on either side of your mat. And you'll have one pillow beneath your head, and the other pillow we'll use to place between the knees. So you've got the bolsters lined up alongside the mat, and they're a little bit off the edge of the mat because your knees are going to come over onto the bolster. So using your hands to support you to roll that back down onto your back. And adjusting that cushion that's beneath your head. So the legs are bent and the feet are flat on the floor. And then shifting your hips over toward the right just a little, maybe 3 inches, it doesn't have to be far. And then from that position with the hips shifted over to the right, letting your knees flop over to the left and rest on that bolster. So here's where the other cushion comes in handy. If you need it, you may not need it. You may find that this position in the twist feels fine in your body and the knees are relaxed alongside each other. But if there's a gap in the knees, then fill that gap with the cushion. Then allowing the arms to extend out in a T shape, taking your eye pillow, placing your eye pillow over your eyes. And taking a big breath in and releasing that with a sigh. So again, you're welcome to adjust your body in any way that feels appropriate for you. If there's any tension in the low back in this twist, you can bring that bolster that's on the right up in a little closer so that it supports the low back. And then once again, scanning your body, taking the attention inward and scanning the body for any areas where the muscles are holding on and they don't need to be. Softening your brow, softening your jaw, softening your shoulders, softening the knees, the hips, the feet, the entire body softening downward. And if you notice you've become distracted by a thought, simply acknowledge that without judgment and bring your attention back to the sensations in your body, using the sensations in the body as a way of anchoring your attention here in the present. And you might notice as you allow the body to open into the pose, that as your body softens and opens, you might be able to adjust. So feel free to adjust in any way that allows you to continue to open with ease. And taking 3 more cycles of breath here. And then as you feel ready, we'll transition to the twist to the opposite side. So bringing your arms in, then bringing the knees back to center and shifting your hips over to the left just a little bit. And then letting those bent knees flop over to the right onto that bolster that's at the right edge of your mat. And then again, you can bring the bolster that's at the left edge of your mat in to snug in the low back area, which feels kind of secure. It provides a nice secure feeling and supports the low back. And then extending the arms out in a T shape and letting the whole body soften. So you might notice when we move to the opposite side that some muscles have tightened up again or some muscles that are engaged, and they may have needed to engage to transition you to the opposite side, but now's the time to let them go. You might notice that the twist could feel different on this side than it did on the other side, so feel free to adjust and adapt in any way that supports your unique body. So the real skill in the practice is moving with and accommodating your needs, not being forceful with the body, and allowing the body to soften and open at its own pace. And taking 3 more cycles of breath here. And then as you feel ready, rolling over onto your right side, and then using your arms to push you to a seated position. And just taking a moment to receive the benefits of twist. And we'll set up for our final pose. So the final pose will be a modified legs up the wall using our 2 bolsters. And we only need one of the cushions. So coming back onto your back again, and the 2 bolsters will be supporting your legs. So then using your arms to support you to roll back down onto your back, adjusting the cushion behind your head, covering your body with the blanket, or just covering the midsection, whatever feels appropriate for you. And then getting your eye pillow and covering your eyes. So the arms can be relaxed alongside your body, rotating the palms upward and softening the palms. Letting the feet dangle in space. And letting the whole body soften into the support beneath you. Feel free to adjust your body. Any adjustments that would allow you to feel a little more at ease. And bringing your attention to your breathing. Just noticing the body breathing itself. And on your next inhale, drawing the inhale down the front of the body, right from the crown down to the toes. And on your exhale, drawing the breath up the back of the body. So each inhale draws the breath down the front of the body from the crown to the toes. And each exhale draws the breath up the back of the body from the toes to the crown. So as though the breath were a giant Ferris wheel. Allowing the breath to rotate in this way, massaging the front of the body with each inhale, and massaging the back of the body with each exhale. And you're welcome to pause the video and remain in this very restorative, deeply relaxing position for as long as you like. And if you feel ready, taking 3 more nice, long, slow, deep cycles of breath here. And as you feel ready, gently removing your eye pillow, allowing the light to seep back into your eyes. And removing the blanket, setting the blanket aside, rotating the ankles and the wrists. And bending the knees, just placing the feet flat on that set of bolsters. And then if you like, drawing the knees into your chest, giving the knees a gentle squeeze, rocking a little from one side to the other. And gradually rocking over onto one side or the other. And whenever you feel ready, using your arms to push you to a comfortable seated position. No hurry. And taking a moment to feel the effects of your practice today. The peace that flows through your body, the flow of your breath, and taking that sense of peace into the flow of your life. Have a brilliant day.